So it looks to me, Blitz, like maybe the side lanes are going to go a little bit better for OG. How's that mid lane matchup supposed to go? Looks like maybe he's taking a huge lead.
Is so strong that it shouldn't matter at some point.
Yeah.
Zeb, though, with a hero that we haven't seen a whole lot put in this position too much. Problems in the off lane. This hero comes with a set of problems. I think the reason why they pick it is for that global presence with this Zeus.
The Lion managed to get the kill on No Tail. This time he just gets a bit too far forward, challenges LGD a bit much in the effort to try and create Anna some spit. The chance LGD have begun. And that, what I thought was the coolest thing is the Chinese crowd, they have not been any when it comes to cheering for OG. They love OG a lot. But when OG's introduction came out on stage, they were extremely quiet. They wanted OG to know, in this matchup, we're not favoring you at all. We are backing our boys, LGD.
No booze.
Radiant structure.
You know, they're going to show their hometown team love.
Set Nova, next Nova.
And he's surrounded right now.
It's going to reveal him the whole entire way, and Seb's going to try and get in position with the he'll just finish up with a little trans, and that's going to be good enough. Meanwhile, Ame actually coming in through the side here does pick up Jiggerix. He's going to try and challenge some of that CS that's floating into the tower. Our mid matchup continues to be rather dominant for Navy's Gyrocopter. Just keeps on throwing out missile after missile.
It may be a very good one-on-one mid laner. His creep aggro tricks, the way that he almost always times out denies. The fact that he's got 4 denies against the Zeus.
Yeah, it's a little hard to do, especially since with spamming at lightning bolt after lightning bolt, bringing himself a few mangoes as well, and he's trying to keep the Rasp battle going back and forth. Not just being highly run by the missile. Jiggerix takes a little bit of damage, but he has the range drop down. That'll make the offensive pressure of this Oracle a lot less viable. A smart little chunk by him after he got killed by Ame. LGD do manage to get the boundary rune at bottom left. No Tail, get a lot of damage in return.
But it's currently set right now, getting the network chart on the side of both teams. Chalice not doing bad for himself either. And both offlaners having a good start. I feel like it's very important for Nature's Prophet, especially in this meta, to have a good start. Just because you do have comeback mechanic, but you need to get ahead with this hero to fight. Because he with any stun, his ulti pretty good, but unreliable at team fights. The important part about all of this is being able to be ahead and stay ahead in network.
They're trying to get killed. They do have that very defensive mid lane ward that spotted out the rotation from F1's line. So they know he's somewhere behind Thompson. Thompson's going to play really safe, especially whenever the missile is cast on him. One thing LGD will need to rely upon heavily here, their team and communication, right? Because while there are downsides to the Furion, which is this is a core Furion with so much global presence, you can't be overly focused on your lane and just tripping out against that enemy hero. You know when the Furion is going to show up and change the odds.
In top lane, he's going to start going on Seb. He doesn't have any chains yet. One, he could put the angle, so Seb will be just fine. There's 2 different ways to get out of this situation. I think part of the reason why they take the MP2 though is they have an easy way to push out the lane and start fights. And on top of that, just lane well.
We're certainly seeing that with Ame falling below Ana's face. Maybe the help of it will get the kill on OG tops. And they'll find that Observer Ward that spotted out FY earlier. So really good read by him. He understood that it would spot it. Now Seb does not have the tough, so he kind of has to battle up back here, but comes out. That'll be enough to finish off X-Nova, and the flamethrower will wear out for Ame as well. Seb will be fine. Still, though, 42 to the favor of LGD.
Part of something I should cover is the vision game between these two teams. Zeus and Nature's Prophet, of course, makes it so easy to win that vision battle. That's why
Tanker after no. And as long as he can get those bashes, it's still going to be an incredible amount of damage. Thinking about chasing Jair's just places down the rim.
I think we should know too is the presence of the two picks that LGD have decided to go for. This is, I think, a direct counter to Thompson and the type of that he wants to make into the enemy jungle. That's so often in the series against LGD when he played the Tiny and he just found the TB over and over again. This vision isn't really to protect it is meant to protect the jungle and Ame's lane, in fact.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Thompson, more than any other core, invades that jungle area, so they want to make sure that they spot him coming the entire way through.
And I've noticed before, like, Thompson Zeus is very reliant on being able to pick up our rooms and bounty runes. So those sort of rotations are going to be spotted out by the top half. And just by process combination, no X, no, he does not think he's still not good enough. They're going to get the kill on the Jerix. They out next or run over by the Remnant. With the rotation coming on, OG isn't going to be too sad about it. They trade support for support. And it required maybe to hit rotation like that.
But maybe he's trying to protect this top lane area. He's focusing on that so much because he doesn't want his jungle to get invaded. Seth gonna get stunned. Ult immediately in Seth. But they don't have the damage.
Down here, it's gonna be a little hard. The Hex, they're just running out of hits. Amazing pop up, able to get the kill. So with comparison, with the long range, barely getting away with the team as well. Beat by Thompson.
I would anticipate PSG to continue to gyro up to this area. Don't let this tower fall, especially against a Nature's Prophet. Plays like beat match in a sense. Mid lane Samus being a little bit low, but should be perfectly fine. It's got a lot of support.
Steph is going to need those 10 big bounty rooms. Push down bottom, and we've got rotations from our supports to this level. They can pick off on the Newtown after OG, then they might be able to actually finish up this tower. Otherwise, it's going to be a slow push.
Nova.
They know Thompson.
They know
Regeneration! At least I deigned to notice.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
very surprised that he decided to make that play. He didn't see top until the smoke broke, so it should have alerted him to the fact that there were more than one hero here. At least he should know that one support is behind him, but they still decided to take the play. Maybe they thought with the addition of Ravage it would be enough.
Dire's bottom tower
Puts in
is under
position to back them up.
It looks like we're going to see a continuation of Thompson's early build, which is just running from the really fast boots of travel to Furion. They're going to try and abuse LGD and this lower pace of the Tide Hunter, right?
Yeah. I would say though, OG,
Radiant's top
their
tower
ways to
is
start
under
fight.
attack.
Well, what did you expect?
Good. Where he's so weak, and nowadays everyone seems to love him. I think he just works so well as a counter core. Every game, feel bad about playing against him. And look at this. This is the ward that I was talking about that you were trying to protect. The jungle against OG. Don't let them get in here for free.
This by X-Nova is kind of positioned to be able to break smoke.
He was there to break the smoke,
But
and he's
now
still gonna cut out.
Trying to filter. There goes the corner here. He's just beauty of a team fight for OG and picking this up on Ame as well. Nails him and top. Finish top life as well. OG just perfectly execute that fight and LGD fall apart.
Oh, the timing of that was so rough for them.
Dire's middle tower is
Well,
under
was there just to break that smoke.
Dire's top
Two wards to protect that area.
Talisman against long odds.
doesn't seem to matter. OG that perfectly.
And that's all set up by Jarix as well, who getting into that position off of Swashbuckle and being able to get that kind of ward down, spotting the stacks.
I mean, this ward right here, they're going to place a similar ward from their this area or this area higher up.
Yeah.
They always want to invade your jungle, and by taking the mid tower and pressuring its top.
The lightning bolt just stopped FY long enough for Seb to complete his TP.
Once they lose, or PSG is going to feel very handed. See that surfer right
Radiant's middle tower
here.
is
You
under
eventually
attack.
find it.
Dire's
But the
top
damage has
tower
already
is
been
under
done.
attack.
A team wipe like that, or at least close to it, leads into the mid-town intake. That just means rotations into the are going to come harder and faster, especially if that safe lane tap. Well, you're going to die. You against the Centaur.
I think you actually have to protect it in this game.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel good to do, but I think if PSG LGD lose safe tower too early, they're going to lose some map control and map pressure in this game to have too good of a game. Which is why I wanted them to protect their jungle, and they were for the most part, but for a second.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, you lose control of your jungle, you lose 2 heroes, and you lose your mid tower.
Okay, what about if you're losing your mid tower? What about you trying to take the enemy safe, open up their? Is that going to be equally effective?
I'm okay with that.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Tie 100, and one side has. If you're gonna make it down, I think that you have to go towards mid your Ravage. It's the only way that you can keep with the tempo of OG.
Look at him, man. He just can't stop.
Dire's
Treants as well as Anna will be able to finish up that safe lane tower. They just couldn't do enough to be able to stall that. So trade out. Tier towers at 2K leads. Opson just a little bit of scouting. He was maybe a bit of data, some sort of rotation or something.
Dire's middle tower.
No, but he's been time does manage to at least kill a ward. He is certainly dead. They'll give that hit to Dev as well.
There's already an Orchid on set, 14 minutes in.
Yeah.
This guy's got an Orchid.
It's pretty insane. I would have expected the old Solar Crest build from him.
I because his lane was going so well.
Yeah.
And he's gonna counter up the Ember Spirit as a result.
Yeah. Super happy with Tommy, that's for sure. Take by the point, they're the finish him up nice and easy, but at the same time, Coattail can be chased down. They are going to get out onto the Tarkov. Jarvis goes out. They want to make sure that everyone's safe here. And Nova's always there with the Dispel as well.
And look at that, as soon as Ame sees the Orchid, he immediately pivots to the BKB.
Yeah.
I feel like even a Maelstrom. I feel like this BKB is a little fake.
It's hard to. It's like he could try and depend on Xnova, but Xnova doesn't really want to play around him.
No,
right?
he wants to play around the gyro.
Yeah.
Completely right.
But it is. If you don't go this, if you go the BKB, hold up on lane. There's going to be things done here. He will have an opportunity. Oh, no, he won't. He'll just stop a little bit too fast for the thing for.
PSG, they want to utilize Ravage. You want to do something with it in this game. Sometimes the threat is better, but in this game right now, geez, the threat of the Ravage.
Agree with that? 8-5 to 15. Is this game that one-sided to OG's favor?
No. And so here, Thompson.
They're going to be top here with the pop. Oh, they're made super tanky. But it could as well. That's going to be a lot for PSG LGD and the two heroes. And that bounty, but bottom lane, Coach, he's beginning to round some of these heroes. And he's down. White turns Hex, but he does not know. Even though the Hex is there, there's no damage. There's now on who's just a bottom for an opening.
He's invis right now.
They're all
Find
keeping
somebody
away
here.
inside the trees. Can you find anybody who's going to go for the blind slight fist?
They're pinging now on the ground. Anna. I think
He knows no tail here. Anna. I think he realized. Coming out. They have to actually finish off no tail yet. There's nothing they can go for Anna now. You're right. They wanted to be able to use that vision. They only use it to vision. But it's Jarix.
This is pretty disastrous for PSG LGD because they rely so heavily on the Ravage, just fights for them too. Haven't had to use the Chronosphere. This feels a little bit rough for them.
Yeah.
But they are farming a lot of stacks. And their timing is going to come once they get their BKBs. I feel like once you get your BKB on PSG LGD, the game changes once again.
Jared, he's using the mobility of this swashbuckle to get boards down. You just fortunately
I think these teams do expect each other towards the against each other in these high pressure situations. Now this is the third time.
If anybody's going to be able to see these kind of moves coming up from OG, it's got to be LGD.
OG, it feels like they're doing the same things that they did. It's real low, but
I actually thought for a second he was being caught out by the chronosphere. Don't waste the situation in time.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower.
solve all their problems. One of here doesn't really care. Your game to
Absolutely perfect.
Into the game.
that over as Dota Plus things. I think it's closer to probably like 60-40, if I had to guess, because I feel like PSG LGD's lineup, they have multiple ways to begin a fight, and at the top level, I feel like that determines a lot. Whoever can start a fight first, it makes their lineup so much easier to play.
Yeah.
It's not impossible to play OG's lineup. The execution has to be so high.
Yeah.
It means that Ana has to hit like these 2-3 man chronos that consistently catch at least one core hero, that consistently catch at least the Oracle so he doesn't just get that hard save. Whereas for PSG LGD, you have Ravage, you're going to get Blink on your Lion at some point, your Gyro with his BKB can just run in for you, your Ember Spirit can consistently just sit in the back lines, poke you with chains. Like that is easy ways to begin a fight. Whereas like Topson won't do that for you. Seb's hero, he's very farmed, but Nature's Prophet by nature can't really begin a fight. He doesn't come with a stun. Sprout is nice, but it works. It's like, it's one of those abilities that it sucks early game. It's pretty good in the mid game.
Yeah.
Late game, it's kind of bad. And then ultra late game, it's great again because you start running out of things like Pulling Blades and Force Stacks.
Oh, hell yes.
What do you think is going through LGD's head in a situation like this, where they've opted to go the double BKBs? You've obviously shown some questions about it. You're not sure if this is like maybe they're missing too much of their game. Do you think it's they're scared?
OG's timing. OG is a very timing-based at the degree. They just want to run you and fight. I think PSG LGD, what they're trying to do is going for the BKBs, you give yourself the best chance at actually being able to team fight 5-on-5. Because I feel like that's what a lot of teams lack, is the ability to engage OG on their terms. That's what we saw EG falter in Game 2 and Game 3 when they took that Terrorblade and the Anti-Mage. They just never had any opportunities to straight up 5-on-5.
Crowd having a little bit of fun with this pause right now, as so are the players. And I love to see the fact that LGD, we obviously saw in some of the documentaries and such that it did get into LGD's head, all the chat wheel that was happening, right? There is a psychological element to Dota 2.
You don't think they've muted each other by now?
And I mean, I like the fact that LGD's playing along. Whether or not they've muted OG and are just, spamming out chat wheel, hoping that they see it. But I like the fact that they're doing it just as much as OG is.
You got to, you got to face your fears, right? You can't run from them. You know that OG's doing it. You can't let it bother you.
And what better way to do it with tons of fans and friends supporting you here in Shanghai?
I can't believe both teams, by the way, have made it back.
I know, it's just so insane because we always talk about the marker, right, of the first player to be able to win an international twice. And that the fact that it hasn't happened yet, 8 years of internationals, now on our 9th, the fact that it hasn't happened yet goes to show how hard it is to maintain that dominance in the Dota 2 field. That the competition level is so high that you just cannot be the best for very long.
I think it's because of the meta switches.
Yeah.
It's that, and it's the motivation. Once you won TI, you've won it all. And once you've gone second, I feel like we had that second place curse for a while, right? Where we saw DC, CDEC, this team that just kind of falls off a cliff.
Yeah.
It's so hard to motivate yourself to think you were that close to winning it all. On one side, you have a team that thinks to themselves, we worked so hard and we came up short. And you have another team that says, well, we've accomplished everything that we need to in Dota. And the fact that they've been able to push themselves back to this level,
Yeah.
both sides, it means they're hungry as ever.
I mean,
That's simply incredible.
the story with LGD, I think, is really interesting. Where you have players like Maybe, who have been long heralded as this god-tier player who was kind of chosen by a lot of the Chinese fans and such to be that player that would represent them and bring home the Aegis.
Yeah, he is their champion.
Yeah. And I can see the motivation, I can see all the stories for them, but how does OG have the will to just make it through again? Back to back like this.
Yeah, it's incredible from both sides.
Yeah.
I respect the hell out of this competition. I'm sure they have a lot of mutual respect for each other. It must be so surreal looking over the stage and you see these guys and you think to yourself, here we go again.
By the way, I just want to point out the fact that we know that every single day, OG has developed their own taunt meta, we'll say, right? Where it came with the sprays, now it comes with the flags they've been laying down the last few days. They've been changing up their icons every day for OG. And has been just different pictures of each other from the TI
Oh, they chose each
photo
other's.
shoot. Yeah. So, for example, Jarex has that Thompson photo where he's pointing towards the camera, sort of like an invoker. That's actually one of my favorites. I have to imagine, like, these guys, they've been on this stage before, but having a pause like this, I wonder how much of a reset it bothers OG, who's a very momentum-based team, right? Whereas LGD obviously have yet to be able to hit their timings in their BKB, are able to plan out a little bit about what OG's next move is going to be. And it is kind of OG's, it's in their court, right? Because they have this Nature's Prophet, they have this Thompson boots of travel. They want to be able to outmaneuver LGD as much as possible.
So the one thing about these heroes, when you have Zeus and Nature's Prophet, is they want to abuse the fact that they can play globally. What you want to do is push in the lanes, force one hero from PSG LGD to come back, deal with the lanes, and as soon as that happens, you find yourself in a 4v5 situation. I think in a pure 5-on-5, it's actually really hard for OG to win team fights, unless you get like some sick chrono off. But as a whole, I think if you run it back a few times, PSG LGD comes out on top, which is why I think they took the Ember, because you have a hero that, because I was thinking about it, why did they take Ember over a hero like Storm, for example?
Yeah.
And I think the reason why they took it is, this is another hero, he didn't go boots of travel, but he does have the ability to simply keep a remnant near his teammates, TP back, deal with the lane,
Be in
and come
two
back
places,
in.
though.
And that's why he has to go for the BKB, because at some point, OG's being trapped. They're going to bring in Orchid Prophet +1 hero. He's going to die every single time. You have to get the BKB. It's not actually the team that you push out the side lane. Such a cool meta that's developed in this regard. Like, that's why drop maps. Like, you need someone to deal with OG's ability to just deal with the weight of the times. You don't want the book in your face. That's how OG fights.
So just like we were talking about how he's going to identify achievement condition in the void, how they're actually going to start. It's going to be happening with LGD, identifying how OG wants to move around the map, how they're going to try and counter that.
Yeah, I've watched their games. Like, I've watched a lot of plays. I watched the game live. I study like 40 times the finals and their finals. I found it so interesting, like the mini meta has developed between these two teams. Like why they they've definitely developed an internal meta anyway. They've extended their best of like 14 across
Radiant's
two
bottom
different
tower
tournaments
is
now.
under attack.
It's going to be split, but Ame will have the advantage of finding a double damage route. See, not LGD try and take the fight against now that they have their double BKBs for Gyro. The Embers. Meanwhile, he's going to use that plus with the travel. Anna, as his hand minus, is going to be working on a fast diffuse blade, so he's not as reliant on bashes or chronospheres to be able to walk and get damage in. After Seb finished up that Orchid, he's got a cape on it wet. Very fast time.
And you notice that for once, they're not just for the straight up 5-man. They'll just continue to poke and prod, see where the weakness is. And as soon as they
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
right here, playing away from his team, this is the correct move.
Yep.
Always play away from your team because you have the ability to do that poke and come help. On bottom for the being silent stuff, but
They try and finish off Seb. You to BKB and two thinks he's got them. And Seb's going to try to for Ame. Holy crap.
that now he's level 17.
Oh.
He's level 17.
Okay, well, that's halfway to a relic ready for Ame.
That's the same level as Zeus who's got the XP talent cap, for context.
Okay.
More than Dice was.
Well, you can see why want to stay away from the fight right now because the LGD, they're very strong between their DPS and their blink deck behind the Tide Hunter. The worst thing that can happen for OG is kind of challenge PSG LGD and put into a Ravage stage.
This is why I didn't think the game was 85-15 because PSG LGD can just do this. They can set one hero at all times on it. You'll always see him be the one pushing the lanes, and as it does, the rest of his team can do feel like they feel strong because they know that OG doesn't want to just get 5-on-5 and each strength, but on for something a little bit different.
Maybe he's farming really fast too. Like even though he went straight BKB and not one of those farming items, will have an Acronym Scepter. Yeah, that's going to make this Dragon Commander extremely tame.
I think these BKBs were more picked up, so in case there is a team fight, you can secure these towers. When you go for these OG, they're they'll see the smoke with the Zeus ulti.
How do you
get active
change?
in the lanes fast?
Once you have that kind of play where you smoke up, you have an idea of what you want to go for.
Radiant are scanning.
You
Get vision out.
Okay, you just
think you
use
get
this
vision out,
moment to be able to get vision instead of fight.
It's a little bit too odd to get into a 5-on situation.
Yeah.
Like it's just awkward. The better thing to do is get vision. It's really all you can. The enemy team knows that you're together. So it's best to see where you can place without getting spotted out, and that's exactly what they do.
Thanks. Dropping sentries all over the place.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
One of those. If your Radiant side lost their safe left tower, you're going to try and control your own jungle area because it helps you control the left tower as well. So kind of any of those observers actually makes his own odds.
Yeah, and it's actually FY that's
Dire's
in this top lane. So yes, you should have activated. OG is going to look at the fight because they know the line can come in as it's 4-on. If Anna's looking for it,
What do you think they set the line?
I'm not sure. I think they were actually trying to avoid the 5-on-5. And all for a second, there it's 4. Like, the wrong hero is not here.
Yeah.
Anytime FY shows in a lane like that, OG is going to smoke up and take a fight. Anytime maybe shows in a lane like that, OG will smoke up and take a fight.
Yeah, because the disables are so effective against the OG heroes, right? Faces Void, you've got this Pango who can't really swashbuckle forward, has to just rely on Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of a mistake by FY, showing in that top lane. As soon as you showed in that top lane, it makes it really hard for the rest of PSG LGD to beat down in that bottom area.
Now, Blitz, a lot of people are going to say, well, what do you mean mistake? Because nothing bad happened. We actually didn't lose any heroes as a result. Why was that bad for PSG LGD?
Because I think they wanted to take that fight. I think they want to be in that bottom area and continue to protect their ward. If you notice, as a result of that happening, they instantly lost this ward down here at bottom. Being able to protect that ward and take a fight around that, because they placed 2 sentries too, you know that OG, they don't have have any vision in that camp. Like, you'll win the vision advantage in that fight alone.
Yeah.
And being able to fight with vision is so important for your cores.
And now they're really fractured, right? As they retreated back, they naturally, like some of them
this is
went
what
to their triangle, and this is what OG is trying to take advantage of.
Yeah.
They know, okay, they retreated. Highly unlikely they all 5-man back to the same side.
It's a little bit awkward for them because now whenever you have to back out like that, like you said, I really like that point, it leaves an opening.
Yeah.
Naturally, somebody is going to go in a different direction.
You have to be in crazy discipline as a team to like 5-man back in that situation. Like, sure, if you're hitting high ground, everyone knows, back together, nobody TP away foolishly, don't let them get an opening. But like in that situation, right, going from jungle to jungle, naturally people want to farm.
Yeah, if you notice, the Ember Spirit is really close to a Sacred Relic.
Yeah.
And his Radiance. You have Ame that just finished up his Aghanim Scepter. Like, these guys want items. It's human nature. You're really close to something, like just a little bit more.
Yep. And he will get that Aghanim Scepter because of the way he's split up, but we'll see whether or not he gets caught.
Yeah,
once
that's
he
the scariest
unpawns
part about OG is they sort of ignore that in a way. They're like, screw human nature.
Tidings?
Yeah, because you have this Nature's Prophet that's almost close to an AC.
And they're
Toxin
saying, like,
almost has his Aghanim Scepter, like, and they're just like, whatever, just take the fight.
Yeah.
The numbers advantage is too good.
they could have just, like, okay, like we've taken over our own jungle, let's keep farming and such. But instead, OG is the kind of team that just says, hey, they've screwed up, let's take advantage of that. How are you feeling, Blitz? Enjoying
Good.
TI?
Oh, I love this series.
God, so good, right?
If you can tell, like, I did my homework.
Yes.
I watched the VODs.
Yep.
Oh, because I wanted to know, like, what makes these teams tick.
Yeah.
Why is OG as good as they are? Because I feel like LGD, what they're doing is, like, they're playing into it a little bit. Like, okay, OG is the same squad. That's no criticism of them. It's actually impressive, like, how well they've done.
Yeah.
Off of, like, this one principle of Dota. And it's like, invade the jungle, secure the safe lanes out, push them out, force people to play at your tempo. And PSG LGD is thinking, what are the counters to that? We don't want to play the same game. We don't want to get into these, like, 70-minute slugfest. Because I feel like OG, that's what they like. They like to clinch you, throw to the body repeatedly. And PSG LGD, conversely, they're like, what's the counter to that then? How do we deal with that? We pick up these early BKBs. We have a hero that can deal with the split push. Make it so that we can punish them in the 5-on-5 fights.
Since we are going to be here for just a bit longer, I want to tell you guys something about the atmosphere of this stadium. There's basically, there's two different big seating areas. One at the bottom, one at the top. And it is just packed all the way to the tip of the top of the stadium.
Yeah, it's actually wild how many OG fans came out.
Yeah, we had a decent number of fans right behind me.
Yeah.
But other than that,
No, there's everywhere. There's about half the crowd, I'd say.
half the crowd are cheering for OG.
Yeah.
They're just not near the mics.
Yeah.
They're just not near the crowd mics.
They're a little bit further.
Yeah.
They got some upper seats. Don't worry, guys.
yeah. Unfortunately, all the LGD fans are all at the bottom, and that's everything you hear. No, it's like, again, it was almost deathly quiet when OG came out. No booing or anything, but and I think the crowd is smart in that way. They want OG to know, like, hey, we supported you up until now, but in this series, we're definitely back in LGD.
Yeah.
Everyone's holding their LGD is invincible flags. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the brackets and see how OG and LGD managed to make it this far. It was crazy how many of the same teams were showing up in that upper bracket again, right?
It feels like deja vu. Last time, of course, EG, they went a little bit further, but things happen.
True. They got their rematch against OG in the upper bracket semifinals, just like last year.
Oh, this guy has no children.
That was a real heartbreaker.
Yeah.
Although this time around, they kind of got crushed.
The LGD versus DG game, I'm a little bit sad that one went 2-0 just because, hearing them talk about playing against each other and what that was like. I mean, they said that LGD actually, was like, they really respect each other, right? Like VG Gaming, they're a young squad, so they look up to everybody who's on the side of LGD, and now they're gonna have to ride all their hopes for a China TI.
Yeah. Wasn't it Fade that was like, I'd love, he's like, my dreams to go to the finals against LGD, and then LGD wins.
And then crown LGD. Very cute. And LGD, I'm sure, is feeling a lot of that pressure of being the last remaining home team. There's a lot of little stuff in that interview. So I think it was also Fade who said like 22 years old or something. He's like, I've been a fan of FY 20. And I think that's something about Dota in China, right? Is that there is just a bigger legacy to be had, right?
Yeah,
dating back to the Dota 1 days.
Now that DDC, as you know, my personal favorite player in the world, now that DDC's out, I think I might switch sides to the Chalice train. I think that might be
your new favorite.
Yeah, it might be that or like Seb.
Yeah.
Seb was a talent. And then he rode his way
that was
back.
the crazy part. We worked ESL 1 Frankfurt with Seb.
Dude,
and now we watched him win a TI, and now we're watching him in an upper back and fight.
Deadass, he looked me in the eye.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm going to make it as a pro again. And I laughed at him.
You laughed at him?
I straight up was like, oh, good luck, dude. I was like, I'll see you next TI. You know, I was like, and then what a fool he made me. And I'm so happy for him. Could have happened to a better guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was always a pleasure to be able to work with Seb. Just, a very happy guy all around. And I think it's also really inspiring. I think it was inspiring to a lot of people.
Yeah, Syndrome's back there like writing as many notes as he can about what happened. It's like, what did he do at these events?
How did he get the motivation? Well, Syndrome, first thing, you have to become a coach.
Yes.
That was the first step, right? It's just coming back and being a coach. And that's let's get back into it. OG versus LGD, game 1. We are 24 minutes in. OG has a 1,000 net worth lead. It has a full combo between Furion plus travel pops and food. Team on some very key items.
They look like they want to
early BKB again got to be working super fast. So BKB had about 23 minutes.
Didn't have a tempo.
Last time he Omni challenged him, and that would be one, and he get away 1,000 gold set, was just a little bit shy of the BKB. But this time he's got it.
It's just the fact that you're the highest 1,000.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Proceed to force.
Popping the shrine, even though he was about 3/4 full. Just gonna think off some fresh fuel.
Dire's top tower is under
I love when people hold on to appearance, by the way.
When you put it into your bottle, it's based off the you picked it up.
I know.
It's cool.
It's like you've got a gold explosion.
Nice, I don't have buyback. Someone use your bottle bounty room.
What? As soon as he hits like 12 for gold, he's gonna pop it.
Okay. That's
Alright, I'd like to see him Remnant DP, help his team.
Yeah.
Radiant structures
Deal with that
are
top team.
fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Purely for him.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He
Right up the corner spear. The team keeps coming in for the Furion just outside of me. Doom it. He wants to get one. Oh, the big game. Activated. Making the fast BKB and sadly set was shut the inside.
It's not for the team fight. It's for when you foot pushes. And you need to be afraid. And Seb, if he TPs on the other side,
Yep.
they definitely get that kill.
Yeah. And he was stuck in a situation where he was already TPing basically at the same time the Protoss was down, so he was like, I shouldn't really cancel this and replace it.
Oh, that was such a sick trap. Like, getting pressure that now, losing the bottom tier 2 tower, you can put even pressure. But once you lose your tier 2 tower, the potential for beating racks is always available. And because you have this first spirit, it's even harder for rack stream. LGD stronger, I'll just go for it.
And they should be picking up the pace right about now, right? Just with their ratings. They know there's no pro.
Yeah, you go for it right now.
There's still that are trying to go for, and that's why they're just trying to not going for the kill at all. They're just trying to push back, make him so he's blown up. He doesn't feel comfortable leading in a game. push out mid, gonna make this smoke a little bit more obvious that he's used the Orchid onto Ame. He's obviously fine. We'll hold on to his BKB charge as well. PSG LGD, they're gonna be spotted. Thunder God's just as we were talking about that mid lane push. Pushing Chalice back, pushing Mermaid in makes it obvious. They read exactly what PSG LGD is, but LGD still gonna go for it. Chalice gonna wrap around with that wide. It's here one tower. They're gonna jump, catching no tail. It's out from Derek's already. They're gonna be able to bring down support at least. Chalice, they're not in position here. Maybe focusing on that objective. She, a little bit thinks about taking the. You've got 15 seconds left of the Chronosphere, and that's why I'm immediately gonna jump into the second round. Hopefully we will help Nova out. He's gonna use the ult. To catch out now, they only managed to finish up Derek. They're jump over the triangle. Thompson did it all by him. He's gonna try and up before Thompson after on himself. Finish off heroic turn. Ame, he does have blood damage with that Radiance. Can they take that mana?
It's still strong.
It's gonna go for the sports. We've got Dev as well as here. But he will get 2 kills for the team.
And that was the buyback from Jervis. Fantastic fight for PSG LGD. That all comes down to X-Nova's positioning. They got it while they were killing the cores in the back. And once you get on top of the Zeus, the team fight feels completely over.
14 to 6 and 20 minutes in, and PSG LGD, the first time in about 15 minutes, had the network lead. No matter how small it is, they do have the lead. They do the experience. The Chronosphere being used in that last fight as well. That's going to give PSG LGD a lot of confidence to get to this point. Beat Ravage, though, in 70 seconds.
And they should feel really strong right now.
Yeah.
It's so hard for LGD to fight. Like I said, 5-on-5s, they'll lose. Even with Chronos, OG hit a 2-man Chrono onto both cores, and it doesn't matter.
So there's a lot of ways that Oracle's trying to solve the problem, which is you've got a target on. Everyone's going to try and chase you. And a lot of them go for Glimmer Caves, Blink Daggers, maybe an Ether Lens to help with cast range. But here, because of the global...
Fight last, because you have a core that consistently catch up to the enemy team and comes with his own stun, you're going to be stronger. Which is wild to think about, considering Zeus is one of the best.
Yeah, that is one thing. The only thing that really can stop Hunger team going the favorite GD's upset is that they focus so much.
Need that
money. Going for is that Blink Dagger again, but again, Ame doesn't care. That's an Aghanim Scepter already.
He needs to outplay them right now, Topton.
Yeah.
Get the Blink Dagger. Figure out your and team fights to be able to get in and out.
It's going to be so hard against the Aghanim Scepter, and I've heard a lot of Emerald Spirit players. And Aghanim.
You get it for your 25.
Yeah, I think that was also which Ame is closed in on 25.
Once you get your 25 plus the Aghanim Scepter, I think it's brutal.
He's already got so many damage items as well. Hasn't opted for anything that's going to block off a sleight of fish. Yeah,
I would really like for this game in particular for him to have gone for the boots of travel.
Yeah.
Makes this playstyle that he's opting for a little bit stronger.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised he didn't go for the Maelstrom as well, considering how, the Furion with so many Treant.
Radiance works.
Radiance works just as well, I guess, and maybe stronger in these team fights.
Radiant are scanning.
Deck's almost here for Thompson. What else do we have? Jerix, he's trying to get a Glimmer Cape, I think specific.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Damage. Ember strength. Now rekindle.
Immediately Roshan. And use that Roshan to get control. Grab the suits or fall. Then diverge onto this mid lane.
Because you are going to feel like really good once you have that CT.
Yes.
Right? So,
I think they really need to make that play in OG. Go for some sort of 5-man. Try to get the core. If you can find the Emperor through his play style, that would be ideal. The problem is, normally you get one moment where you can trick somebody and they forget about making die.
Yeah.
And that was a top lane. But maybe they can do it again. Ame, if he's going to stick around the next people, he could just die here.
Help out with the Nimbus. Go Roche. Go Roche. It's the opportunity for OG that they needed to play the agents.
You at least have an opportunity, if he did have buyback, maybe force back, but as soon as they know that they're roaching and they know the Ember's out of the fight,
Yeah.
they didn't go for smoke, but it's the same idea. Get a core pick off, go into Roshan. You have to use this Aegis.
And from Chalice. The team threatens, hey, Edgar could buy back. Got to get out of this pit. Does he actually think they can fight?
I don't think just walk the Roshan pit.
Yeah.
No, this isn't a real fight.
Yeah.
It's sort of just buying a little bit of time.
OG are doing a really good job of making the most of this, right? Push on the top lane, getting your one at bottom. Actually, starts all challenge.
Yeah, what they're trying to do is time Ember Spirit. Still a 25-second is now with AC.
They was to commit. They have to do it now. A 20-second.
Nice defense by PSG LGD.
Yeah, this is smart objectives.
Charles just walks in, there's chrono, he can't die, he's got a pipe and a solar and Vlads. But I do think the idea behind what OG was going for is the right play.
Yeah. Hey, if that happens again, and next thing you know, you've taken the tier. PSG LGD said, you know, 4 versus 5, well, guess what? Now the Emperor's 5. And we don't think you're going to fight us for this.
They got a win chrono too. So yeah, LGD, because they've got this this Satanic, I feel a little bit too up. Gotta be careful. If this Faceless Void engages, I'm just looking at the angle right now. He sees for the time being. Both teams just around this area. Both to just get it up.
And it's being so low, bit by bit, that event.
Killing spree! Birth is a promise. Death, its fulfillment.
A little bit too close.
Up.
No ability to their advantage. You see at pushing and buff. This is an opportunity to with no food to travel. That's a tough time being able to deal with this. He's going to run to bottom lane, but and figure out what with double C dragon push.
Likely to take this tour. At least this dragon gets
Solar Crest. Finish off the Nimbus. That's another 100 gold.
Maybe he's committed for this. Why is coming?
Stuck on the cliff, but it looks like F1 doesn't clip off. Back and support down. Now LGD trying to go. LGD
does have my back. He's got to commit to it now if he is going to.
Does have to go up. Now the sun. He can maybe finish this one up solo. He's going to be able to jump in. Throw the shield.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
10억짜리 구매고기! 15억짜리 구매고리! 10억짜리 구매고기!
The BKB tries to go for the Sprout CP away, and he's fine, actually. Impressive play by OG to be able to bail out Anna and still get out. still a big win for PSG LGD as they managed to just finish up Roshan just in time. I mean, the balls that may be there to say, I'm going to pop BKB and I'm finishing up this Roshan, even as Anna's buying back and trying to TP in.
Oh, that was so rough. I actually thought that that fight was going to go okay for OG. After they went on Thompson and Thompson outplays them, Yules into the blink. He dodges the Ravage. He goes right. The Ember Spirit think he walked up. It looked really good. And then Anna was never able to get his Chronosphere off.
Yeah.
In that engagement, he just didn't really see a good opportunity. He wasn't able to keep up with his Zeus, so they weren't able to layer their damage together. As we're going to see again, he drops the Chronosphere. He thinks about running in, but he knows that's a trap. FY, he's ready with the stun.
I mean, maybe if he had been able to time walk actually into the pit, he was just there a second faster, time walks into the pit, gets off the Chronosphere. Sadly, level 20 talent just wasn't quite enough. I thought Seb was dead here for sure.
Nice BKB usage. Gets the Sprout just around his body.
And it's always tough. You've seen it time and time before. These late game Furions, nobody wants to be able to hold on to a Quelling Blade this late. FY and Chalice are the only ones who have it here. Oh, no, never mind. X-Nova has it as well. Butterfly up next for our Gyrocopter. And this is going to be some serious momentum for PSG LG. It's funny, though, that win probability still heavily favoring OG. And I think even after that fight, it may still be in their favors. Yeah, 66%. Again, the late game, the basis void and trying to go hot ground again. That as ET suits the mobility of the Furion. The list actually goes on and on. How good is Roach?
I still think this game is slightly PSG's favor.
Yeah.
I'm really willing to... I think this game's coin flipping. If OG lineup with the functions is, if they do win the fight, they're going to push in the lane real quick. They've got the build stream, got an AC, they've hit towers very well. But I feel like right now, PSG, LGD, they should win most of the team.
Come to me.
Haste!
Blows.
Otherwise, being stuff like that. Ahmed is already trying to address that with an Aeon Tisca first up.
They do have X now on Seb. That's a big item pickup for him.
So that's why he's trying to go for that Aeon Tisca, because the BKB may not be enough anymore.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
He's still going to address the push from OG, even if they have the team fight locked in, especially with the Aegis on maybe right now. They have to make sure they are not outmaneuvered by OG, as they've done that so many times in the past and so many times at this international as well. Why it looks so good, right? Is being able to, first of all, put in.
He doesn't have to pop his BKB just to take kills. There is a pickup almost immediately by X-Nova. I think they're feeling the lack of wards right now. Like I think they've accepted that they're going to get wards out for very long, but they'll have to take OG's vision if they can. It's where OG's life is still.
Dire's middle tower is
It's a
under
Furion, right? Sometimes you just give words to the Furion, even if he's cool. And he goes out, playing some Jerix with the swashbuckle, allowing him to get to that low support team as well.
We saw in the pre-game stats, by the way, teams just pressure, but this time, and they play against each other so often that they slow down the pace. They know that all it really comes down to is the team fights.
The seeds of fortune. A fitting bounty.
Gonna be a little bit about plans. Okay.
Things now make sense.
Not here, they're gonna jump on the Agnes concept for Spirit to be able to chase down No-Tail, but No-Tail managed to get on the slump on Omni. Omni swap double camp to split loose, and maybe joining him in the middle. So
Split push continues. Top in that top lane, set towards bottom. If you can't fight him, extend the game until you find opportunities where you can.
Especially with these level 25 talents. And as his Chronosphere a week.
I know there's no BKB, but no vision either.
Yeah. Most effective shadow. It's always for course to carry vision.
That's why Nature's Prophet isn't awful, even though you can't team fight too well. Sprout is going to get much better as the game goes on. Your Shadow Blade will get a lot better because Cores can't really carry around the gems or anything like that.
Yeah. Look, he boosters I see go for that 150 how often stamina CP that's his third thing in between his legs right there. Just CP did instantly PKP's tier 3 outgrinds have been unlocked, and eventually he'll take it with the Treants.
Maybe he's built, but he's decided to go for the pressure because he's so tired of this. He knows they need some way to punish.
With the mute attached as well, he's focusing on all of the front. Chronosphere.
I think he's about a little bit lazy. OG punishes their lineup. It's designed to constantly pressure the lanes, find openings like that.
Yolker, almost complete for Summers. The 20 strength for the Tank. Now off of the buyback around Roshan, and LGD about that.
Yeah, they don't need him. And it just decided to step forward.
And now Seth gives you everything and force attention to the sun lanes rather than that where it would be barreling out. But it comes into play. Did not have any on this, but he's gonna plug lucky. Jarek rolling in with his glimmer, getting in his ball. Not really doing a whole lot, especially since they have the bitch down. They're gonna do the amount of fun that's there. Summon turn off his attention in tier 3, 80 seconds for Hannah's revival here. He is
says to his team,
if it was indeed his bad at one little minute. His dad till out here 15 seconds, but thrown being booked to watch doing so much damage.
such a tense game, and that one lapse in judgment.
Yeah. This is what is going to determine the victory between these two teams who were so evenly matched for 40 minutes. One slip up in Roche, one slip up in the mid lane, and PSG LGD will take game one.
You can totally tell that they've done their homework.
This has been a great start to this series. I hope we go for the full series just like we've had every single TI pass between LGD and OG.